Can you say these three things? Do you have difficulties with the th sound? If so, don't worry, you're in the right place because today's episode is all about the th sound. Are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome to the Coffee Break English Show. I'm Nick.
And I'm Francesca.
How are you today, Francesca?
I'm really well, Nick, and I'm so excited about today's episode.
Yes, it's a really interesting episode. Maybe a little difficult, this sound.
Yes, because we are going to look at the sound produced by the letters T and H together. Is that right?
That's right. Yes, exactly. So we'll look at the sound and we'll look at how that differs from the f sound with the letter F, and just try to build a more natural sound when we're using these combinations.
This sounds great because as a non-native speaker of English, this is a sound which I always find a little bit intimidating in a way because it doesn't exist in my native language, which is Italian, and I'm never too sure how to produce it.
Yes, and it's got some similar sounds as well, so we have to be a little careful when we make this sound.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's get started.
Yes, let's do it.
Great. So the first thing we need to look at is the difference between f and th.
Okay.
So the f sound with the letter F is made with the top teeth.
Okay.
And on the bottom lip.
Okay.
So I'm putting my top teeth on my bottom lip if you're not watching. So f.
F.
Great. So examples of words with this sound are coffee or photo.
Coffee, photo, or let me think of one.
Yeah.
Laugh.
Great.
Laugh.
Exactly. Yeah. Laugh. Yeah. And with the th sound, we put the tongue in between our teeth.
This is the tricky one.
Yeah, exactly. So the trick here is if you put your finger over your mouth, you should be able to just touch your finger slightly like th.
With my tongue.
Yeah.
Okay. Th.
Exactly.
Th. All right.
And that's a good practice technique.
Okay.
Yeah. And some examples of words with this are think and theatre.
Theater.
Great.
Okay. And let me think of one. Bath.
Yeah, exactly. Bath. Great. Fantastic. And that visual effect is very important because we can see this sound as well as hearing it.
It makes sense. Yes, obviously.
So we do a little test.
Okay, let's try.
So is it a th or a f sound? So here, if I say 3.
Okay, I think the visuals are really helping me there. Yeah. I think it's 3 as in the number.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. So that then leads us to another small problem with this sound. And that's that it has 2 sounds, Francesca.
So the sound, the TH sound has 2 possible sounds.
Exactly.
Okay.
So one is unvoiced, which means there's no vibration of the voice. And that's the one we've looked at, so think or truth or bath.
Right.
But there's another one. So if you put your finger on your voice box,
I really like this.
And we say this time it's a similar sound, but it's vibrated.
Yes.
So that's like in words this and that. And can you think of another?
Let me think. Breathe.
Yeah, breathe. Exactly. And if we want to really practice this, we can elongate that sound. So go breathe. Yeah.
This is really useful.
Yeah. So some common spelling rules for these 2 different sounds are if we look at the th sound, many words that end in the letters ER have this sound.
So we're talking about words with a vibration.
Yes, exactly. So father, mother. Yeah. And can you think of another one?
Weather.
Yeah, exactly.
Weather.
So this is a nice pattern to remember. Another pattern here, it's not always true, but a lot of the time it is. And that's at the end of words, if it's the letters TH, then it's a soft sound. So th.
Okay.
So that an example would be birth.
Birth.
Like my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth.
Fourth.
And earth.
Earth.
Like
so there is no vibration here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another general rule that we can follow here is that we have some words that are nouns.
Okay.
Will have a soft sound.
Okay.
And when they become verbs, they have a strong th sound.
Mm-hmm.
So an example is breath.
Breath.
Like a breath.
A breath.
Or the verb to breathe.
Okay. There's a difference there in the sound, isn't it?
Yeah, so the vowel changes and we have that strong sound.
Okay, so let me try.
Yeah.
Breath, breathe.
Good, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So the next example could be bath.
Bath.
And bathe.
Oh, this always confuses me. Bathe.
Yeah,
bathe.
It's great, exactly.
Bath, bathe.
And that's like in sunbathing.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. I think we're ready for a little practice challenge.
Are you putting me on the spot?
No, don't worry. I'm going to say a tongue twister.
Okay.
Which is where we say a sentence that's not easy to say. And this will help us practice these sounds.
Tongue twisters are always a good idea to practice tricky sounds, I think.
Absolutely. And they're good fun as well.
Yes. Let's see.
So, the first one, there are 33 thick silk threads.
Wow. A lot going on there.
Yeah.
So let me try.
Go.
Don't laugh.
I promise.
There are 33 thick silk threads.
Great.
I should
really
be faster
good.
when I say it.
But I think it's good to start slow and then you can build up the speed.
I'll work on my speed, and so should our listeners.
Yeah, so if you're watching or listening, it's a good idea to pause and do some practice now. Great.
Do you have another one?
Yes.
I think I'm enjoying this.
They get a bit more difficult now.
Okay.
So number 2, 3,000 thick feathers float down the river.
Wow. Okay, can you repeat it one more time, please?
Of course. 3,000 thick feathers float down the river.
Okay, let me try. 3,000 thick feathers float down the river.
Great, really good. So that one is more, the first part of that is very difficult. The final one.
Okay, let's go. Is it going to be really challenging?
Yeah.
Expert level. Yeah. Okay.
So,
is everyone ready?
I'm not sure I'm ready. Let's try. So, I thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought that I'd thought that I'd thought.
Oh, okay. First of all, can we hear it one more time, please?
So, I thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought that I thought that I'd thought.
Wow. And this also makes sense. This is not just random words together, but it also has a meaning if we break it down in smaller chunks.
I think it gives me a bit of a headache just to read that sentence.
Yes, I think I'll work on this one. And maybe next time when I see you, excellent, I'll practice it with you, but I need to work on this.
And definitely I think you need to pause and practice this one for a while if you're trying that one.
Yes, but this is a really good one.
Shall we do a quick review of the topics that we've covered then, the sounds?
Yes, because I think in the space of very few minutes, we have covered quite a lot today. So it's always good to recap and feel that sense of achievement.
Absolutely. It feels like a pronunciation gym today.
Yes.
So we had the first sound was the F sound, which we have in coffee or in laugh.
Okay.
Then we had soft sounds, which we have in 3 or think. Then we had the vibrated sound, that's the one with the finger on the throat.
Yes.
Which is like this or that or these.
Yes, I really enjoyed this part.
And the key here is just practicing those separate sounds and learning which words have them.
And it's also useful, I think, to listen to native speakers like you when they speak and try and spot these sounds and see how they are pronounced and maybe look at the visuals as you taught us before.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, I think. And it's probably a really good idea if you have been listening to this podcast episode to watch it over for those visual effects and those sounds that we can see with the mouth.
Yes, I agree, Nick.
Yeah. And if you want more practice with your pronunciation, then it's a really good idea to check out our Tuesday and Thursday video, which you'll see here, but you can also find that in the description.
And remember, you can read the blog article on this episode for more information on this topic and some fun exercises for you to practice. The link is in the podcast description.
And you can also sign up for our free weekly emails to receive a mini English lesson every week. Well, I think that's all we've got time for, Francesca. But thank you so much for today's episode. I've had a lot of fun.
Me too, Nick. And thank you for all the great explanations and the tips you have shared with us today.
No problem. I think it's just about getting that practice and regularly to help improve pronunciation.
I promise I'll be doing my homework.
Excellent. And thank you for watching and listening at home. Until next time, happy coffee breaking.
Bye.
You have been listening to a Coffee Break Languages production for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2025 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2025 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.